1, 2. Check me out right here, yo. Need to turn the track up a little bit for me. All up in my ears. The mic is loud, but the music is loud. Yeah. Now the mic is low now. Turn the mic up. This is all the way up. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Once in a while,
Yo. What's going on, people? Listen, man, I had an experience just now. My computer my computer skills suck, man. Um just trying to set everything up and I don't know, just having a bad night with it. But I'm on. I'm on. How's everybody doing today? Back to lousy Mondays. I know everybody hates going, back to work on Monday and all that, but um hope everybody had a good weekend. So I come to y'all with another topic today that I want to talk about, and it's it's not based off the movie Fences, but it kind of goes into what my whole thought of this particular topic is all about. Um you know I, I don't want to sound like an old head, and listen, I'm not here to preach. I'm not trying to preach to anybody. Whatever you do with your kids is what you do. You know what I mean? But it just it I'm gonna just find the clip that I'm gonna base all this off of, and I'm gonna take it from there. Let me get the clip. Ooh, excuse me. Clip is coming up. And I'm not gonna play the whole entire clip. Um, just the part that I really want to get my point across with. And here, is this it? No, that's not it. Here we go. Listen up, y'all.
Can't give nothing else.
how come you ain't never liked me?
Like it? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. What law is there say I got to like you? None. All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day? Yeah, nigga, as long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day. Yes, sir. Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
Got clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why you think that is?
Because of you.
Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is?
Because we like you.
Like, I go out here every morning. I bust my butt putting up with them crackers every day. Because I like you. You're like the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my job. It's my responsibility. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because you're my son. Because I like you. Because it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Now let's get this straight right here and now before it go along any further. I ain't got to like Mr. Rand don't give me my money come payday because he like me. He give it to me because he owe me. Now I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life. Me and your mama worked that out between us, and liking your black ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now don't you go through life worrying about whether somebody like you or not. You best be making sure they're doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying? Then get the hell out of my face and get on down to that A&P.
Sorry about that. um, so this was really a deep movie. And I'm not trying to be a movie critic either, but it was really a deep movie because of um the role that Denzel played as this boy's father. Um, Now, yeah, we all know back in the day, black folks wasn't able to do, but so much, and really had, we really had a hard time, um, trying to, make ends meet, live comfortably, happily, all that good stuff. Um, Basically poverty. It was basically, the doormats, or so to speak. So, you know, the way Denzel played this role, it just it hit me in a way where it's like, wow, like, you know, he was like really harsh with this kid. But back in those times, you had to be tough minded. You had to always show tough love, you know? And so now get to my point, I really feel like we lost that, way of teaching our black kids, our black sons. Um I really feel like we kind of lost that way. I'm not saying that we gotta, talk. You gotta talk down on your child or whatever. I'm not saying none of that at all. Some kids, you know, they'll understand what you're saying, but then again, they may not understand what you're saying. You got some kids that might just I'm talking about kids nowadays. You got kids nowadays, they just playing out, don't listen. They don't have a really a care. And I really feel that there's not really a care because us as parents, we're not showing the tough love. We're not giving the tough love. We're not, um, you know, showing the child who's boss. In some cases, I see children, or kids that make it seem like they run, things, and that's never ever the case. Or should never be the case, but that's how it seems. Um, I just I don't understand where we lost, our teachings to our kids, specifically, like I said, to our, young black men. Um, I found myself in conversations with my kids, on a daily basis. I guess in some case, in some ways, I'm trying to be nosy, but I gotta be up in their business because they're doing a little bit too much out here right now, and they're seeing a lot, a lot of things out here that, really they shouldn't really be around. You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, yeah. When I grew up, when you grew up, and a lot of us when we grew up, of course, we seen things that we wasn't supposed to see, but we had a fear factor in us that if we knew that we was gonna do certain things, we knew that it was gonna be some harsh consequences when we got home. These kids don't got those type of consequences. It's different. You know what I mean? And I come across it a lot. People that I be around that I coach with, they you know come across it a lot too. And like you got some parents, they really feel some type of way when you kind of I don't want to say father their child, but when you chastise their child, when you're actually trying to show them right from wrong. And I came from a village where, shoot, I mean, if it was a uncle or aunt or even an older cousin seeing you doing the wrong thing, you know what I mean, they had the right to reprimand you any way they wanted to. It didn't. When it got back to your parents, you was gonna get it again. And that's the tough love I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So the movie Fences, it just spoke volumes of what a black man went through just to teach his black son of how to be a man. You know, and you hear the excuses. Or I don't want to say excuse. It's not really an excuse. It's just a form of life with the way life is. But you have instances where the father is not in the child's life, whether he's the father's locked up, or he died, or he's just a deadbeat father. And that's that's a situation that's hard. It's rough, you know what I mean? And you feel for people that go through that struggle. You feel for the mother that has to try to figure out how to um teach her son how to be a man. It's really hard to deal with situations like that. But like I said, once again, I'm not trying to preach to anybody. I'm not trying to um just make any uneasy conversation. I just want us as black folks. We really have to do more. Especially the dads. We have to do more with our black kids. We have to show them the way. And in a lot of ways, it's gonna have to be tough love. Tough love is really the only way I know. And a lot of people that I'm cool with, that I grew up with, that's the only way they know. All they know is tough love. you know and that's the only way that we're going to be able to get the best out of our kids. I tell my kids all the time, I want y'all to do better than what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I could be a millionaire right now. I wish, but I could be a millionaire right now. Of course, I'm gonna want my kids to be a billionaire. You know what I mean? I want my kids to always step up the ante. They got dreams of doing so many things. And I'm very supportive of what they want to do, but I also gotta bring a lot of reality into it, because nothing's gonna get handed to them. A lot of kids out here feel like things are going to get handed to them. Some kids feel like they don't gotta put in the work in order to get to where they get, or want to get. You gotta be dedicated to a lot of things, man. And I'm not talking just sports. I mean, to be honest with you, it's really about the book work. It's about school. A lot of these kids need to understand the importance about school. And this generation, it scares me a lot, because a lot of these kids feel like they can just do whatever because of social media. you know and social media has the good, and it comes with the good and the bad. Okay. You can promote businesses, and you can connect with people, and things of that nature. But the bad side about this is that kids are easily influenced with social media, and without the proper guidance with a male figure in the house, it just leads to trouble. It leads to a lot of trouble. So I just really want us to, as men, let's be better influences in our kids' lives, man. You know, um, it's very important. It's very important. You know, just so much other things in my head I want to say, but like I said, I don't want to. come out like I'm trying to tell people how to raise their kids. Um, Here go my cousin Tasha. She just put a post up here, a comment up in here. She says, even when I was younger with my dad raising me, he showed me tough love when I was getting bad grades in school. And I agree, social media is crazy for younger. Yeah, it's very crazy for the younger kids. And this is my cousin Tasha, y'all. So she's a woman, and she said that her dad gave her tough love. So it goes both ways. It's not all just about the young men getting the tough love. A lot of these young women need a tough love too, because a lot of these young women, they're gonna grow, get older, and they're gonna be out here, thotting and doing all this other raunchy, ratchety bullshit, shitty, witty bullshit stuff. You know what I mean? And that's something, that we don't want, our young queens to, be doing outrageous stuff out in the street. We don't want that. You know what I mean? We don't want them to end up in situations where they're with a guy that can't treat her right, you know? A guy that can't nurture her. Because guess what? A man may not be able to tell a woman how to be a woman, but a man, a father, the girl dad, he knows how to nurture. He knows how to make the daughter feel safe. He knows how to make the daughter feel loved just as much as the mother does. And that's real. And there's a lot of young women out here that don't have that. There's a lot of young women that grew up without their father, and they're lost. And that's very, very sad. It's very sad. It's very hard. Anything you could think of in the way of a woman being lost. I mean, it's a horrible feeling for them to feel that way. Um, and then you have these lost women. Now, guess what? Now they got kids to raise. So how are they going to raise their sons? How are they going to do that? How are they going to raise their daughter when the daughter, or all she sees is her mom being abused, or maybe the mom is abusing the daughter because she don't know how to love. I mean, it's crazy, and it's disheartening, and it's just a lot of emotional craziness, stress, you know, and that's something that has to start at home. You know, it has to start at home. Everything with the child always starts at home. I know people that or people that I knew, when I was younger, they were kicked out the house on their own when they were 14, 15 years old, because they had no choice. They didn't have a choice. They had no choice. Crazy, right? How a 15 or 14-year-old child doesn't have a choice to stay home. You know why? It's because of the parent. It's because of how the parent neglected that child, belittled that child, put that child, put that child down. You know what I mean? Jimmy Butler, he's a point guard for the Miami Heat. He put out his story um about his life, and how he was on his own, I think, when he was 14, 15 years old, and he had to figure out every night where he was going to sleep, how he was going to eat, put clothes on his back, to be able to function. A child, though, he's a child, but it was somebody that actually came into his life, and she actually asked his her parents if he could stay. They let him stay for a couple I guess a few months or whatever, and then eventually they actually let him stay there, like live there. He went on to school, high school, became an all-American. Then he went on to I think a junior college first before he ended up going to Marquette. Got drafted by the Chicago Bulls in the NBA, and now look at him. He's doing well for himself. But it doesn't always pan out that way. It don't always pan out that way at all. And the worst of the worst is either locked up or dead. And these are the the ramifications that some of these kids got to deal with. I don't know if y'all know the Holly Center, but um sometimes during when our football season comes up, they'll come out, the Holly Center kids, and we'll coach them in football, and they'll be in all in the action with all the other kids, from Maywood and all the surrounding towns, Hackensack or whatever, and we'll coach them. And it's crazy how they can come from there and they're one way, but when they come to us, it's a whole different experience for them because it's something that they're not used to. They're not used to having somebody all the time rooting for them and hoping for the best for them, teaching them things and doing things for them and making them feel special. It's crazy. It's the best feeling in the world when you can enlighten a child that's coming from so much drama in their life. There was a kid, I forget his name. He's probably well in his 20s now, but I remember one year I was coaching on the midweight team, and he was a little upset. So I asked him, I said, "Yo, and this was after practice. I said, "Yo, what's wrong, man? You all right? Everything good?" He said, "No, I'm not happy right now." I said, "Well, what happened?" I'm thinking something happened in practice. He got word that he was going back home. He was living, his parents live in Newark, or his family lived in Newark. But the thing is, he didn't want to go back, and he didn't want to go back because of what he experienced with us. And I felt so bad for him. I'm like, damn, man, that's crazy. He didn't even want to go back home. He don't want to go back because he was on good behavior. He was doing very well, very good. And you know, he didn't want to go back home. And that just I took a knee and I just gave him a hug because it was like, yo, that was like the realest feeling, the realest moment I ever had. Like, damn, this is crazy. I didn't know well, it's obviously there's nothing I could do, but you know, it is what it is. I hope all is well with him now. I mean, I haven't seen him, ever since then, but it's just that moments like that. It just makes you understand, where you're at as a person, and in the setting that you're in, the good setting you're in. You can't take it for granted. You can't take nothing for granted. You can't take life for granted. You can't take nothing for granted. You know what I mean? So that was just a real unreal moment. It was like, wow, it's crazy. But like I said, man, I just want all of us men, to keep being that guiding light in our child's life. Whether it's a daughter or a son, you know, they need love. They need love, yes, but they need tough love as well. I tell my kids all the time, I'm your father, I'm not your friend. You know what I mean? You don't greet me as yo, um or yo dad. I don't go for none of that. You can call me old school, call me whatever you want. I mean, I got it honest. I get this from my parents because that's how they was raised. You know what I mean? Once again, that's everything that you're accustomed to. You see, growing up, it comes from the house. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, shoot, my mom, my dad, yeah, you hear certain things as a kid or whatever. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but you know, it, that's life. It is what it is. But I was brought up on structure. Brought up on structure. Me and my brother brought up on structure. You know, my kids now. Me and Sierra, we try to bring them up on structure. You know, and they know what the love is, and they know the limits. A lot of these kids don't have limits. That's the whole thing, man. These kids don't got no limits, man. Some kids don't know how to stop. Some kids don't know how to be a kid, and that's just something that I'll never hold firm to, or will understand how you a child and you don't know how to be a child. You know, My parents always had these old sayings. Kids are to be seen, not heard. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, what does that mean? I can't talk. But that's just the way a lot of us grew up. But just little conversation for you guys, food for thought. Hope you enjoyed my podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications of anytime this podcast is streaming. My bad for deleting and coming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like I said, I had a rough night, and I'm also trying to hook up my Instagram to my YouTube. Um, so that's another part of the reason why I was a little messed up. I'm not a computer genius. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. You know what I mean? And I'm sweating. It's hot in here. But you guys have a great night. Enjoy the work week. Hope you guys get off to a good start. I know it's Monday, the Monday blues, but you'll be all right. My partner, he's not here right now, but if he was here, he would tell everybody to make sure that now I'm not going to sing it, but wash your ass, people. Some of y'all be funky out here, grown ass people. You know what I mean? Smelling like raunchy blimpy sandwiches from like 3 days ago. Wash your ass, people. Scrub your toes. Stinking ass. Stinking ass. Okay, I'm out. Peace.